Good morning to the learning fraternity. I am Dr. B.S. Praveen Kumar, handling subject Material Science for the third semester. And today we'll discuss about a Module 3. Module 3, and the title of the Module 3 is Heat Treatment, Ferrous and Non-Ferrous Alloys. And then the content of the module are triple T diagrams, that is temperature, time, transformation, and then CCT curves, that is continuous cooling transformation curves. And coming to the heat treatment, we have got a recovery, recrystallization, grain growth, annealing, types of annealing, normalizing, hardening, tempering, mar tempering, and then as tempering. The concept of hardenability and factors affecting the hardenability. So here, the hardness and hardenability are two different things. Hardenability is the ability of the material to undergo hardness, and hardness is the property of the material that we will discuss when we come to the hardening process. And other contents of this module are surface hardening methods. In the previous slides, we have seen heat treatment methods, and here it is surface hardening methods. These are the two different things. In the case of heat treatment, we will treat the bulk or entire product is heat treated, whereas in the case of surface heat treatment or surface hardening, only the surface to an extent of zero point 0.6 or zero point 0.8 depending upon the requirement, we have been the material have been treated. And under this, we have got carburizing, cyaniding, nitriding, flame hardening, and injection hardening. And interestingly, the age hardening of aluminum and copper alloys is also added in this category. Even though the heat treatment belongs to ferrous metal, and this age hardening of aluminum and copper alloys will come under non-ferrous metal heat treatments. But still, it is very interesting to read how the hardening of aluminum alloy occurs over a period of time is very, very interesting. That is also added in this category. And in the at the fag end of this model, we have got ferrous materials, and the ferrous materials, especially the carbon iron cast iron, we will going to study the properties, composition, and uses of the various cast irons, that is gray cast iron, malleable cast iron, and SG spheroidal grain cast iron, and then white cast iron. So this is what the content of the module 3. And let us move on to the first topic of this module, that is TTT diagrams for 0.8 percent of eutectoid steels. So before going to uh, discuss about triple T diagrams, let us discuss briefly about iron carbon diagrams. So in the case of iron carbon diagrams that we have discussed in the model 2, we know that along the y-axis we have got temperature, and then along the x-axis we have got carbon percentage, and the maximum carbon percentage is 6.67%, and the temperature it is above melting point of the steel, that is 1600 degrees centigrade. So in this diagram we can see what are the various possible phases between iron and carbon. That is interestingly cementite, and then austenite, and then alpha iron, delta iron, perlite, all these are the possible phases. So in this diagram, it is possible to estimate or to gauge that how a particular phase is stable. So the stability comes into picture between two things. One is the temperature, and the other one is composition. If you vary the composition, or if you vary the temperature, the phase will go into change, or where the phase will go into decompose. So in this diagram, number one, what are the various phases possible between iron and carbon, and number two, about their stability. That means with respect to the values of temperature, and then composition are discussed in the iron carbon diagram. But coming to this triple T diagrams is an entirely different approach, and in this case, we will discuss how how you got here. This is what a triple T diagram. In this case, we will discuss how the austenite, which is stable above 7 to 7 degrees centigrade, it transformed into various phases when it is isothermally cooled, or when it is cooled very at a constant temperature. Let us take some point here. So here it's an austenite, and let us take here the phase transformation from the austenite two different phases are possible. That is, one is perlite and the other one is benite. So how at a particular temperature, constant temperature, that is isothermal temperature, how when the phase transformation starts, and at what time it will take, and when it will be completed. So these things will go into study in this triple T diagrams. Hence it is uh, time, and then temperature, and then in between this we have got transformation. This is what the TTT diagrams tells us what are the different phases that austenite can taken when you cool it at a constant temperature. Now let us move on to the construction part of this triple T diagram. So look at here what they do, what are the different steps involved in it. The specimens prepared as per the standards and heated to a temperature above upper critical temperature to ensure the austenite phase. That means we will select some, let us say 25 or 30 specimens, and they are heated above 7 to 7 degrees centigrade and kept at that temperature for about some good amount of times, so that entire body of the specimen is converted into the austenite. That is the first step. And in the second step, take few specimens from that the first container, and then dip into a salt bath, which is maintained at a temperature less than 7 to 7 degrees centigrade. Let us take here, I have taken 7 degrees centigrade. So you dip a group of, let us say, 10 to 15 components into this bath container, and then at some regular intervals, let us say for about 1 minute, for 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, you take the component and dip into the cold water. Then what happens if you dip into the cold water? Whatever the phase transformed in the second container will be retained, or in other words, I can say it is seized. So you take that specimen and then cut it, and then put under a microscope and examine the type of phase developed, and also the percentage of phase developed. So that this gives an idea, the information about the time, and then percentage of transformation. So with this two information, it is possible to draw the TT diagrams, also called as isothermal, also called as S curves, brain curves. So so I have got one more PPT. In that I can explain whatever it is I have explained. So this is the first container or furnace. So in this, it is heated to a temperature above 27 degrees centigrade, and then dipped into the second container. So that is maintained at a temperature less than 7 to 7 degrees centigrade. In this case, I have taken 700 degrees centigrade, and then dipped into a cold water, that is water quenching, so that the phase transformation is ceased. So like this, you take number of specimens right from zero time to a maximum of 1 hour or 1.5 hour, depending upon the time it will take for the complete transformation from zero to the 100%. And then with this data, you can draw this TT diagrams. Let us take this. So here it is a temperature, that is 675 is the temperature of the container. And then I have dipped at this point, and then over this time from here to here it is 50% of transformation is completed, and from here to here it is 100% of transformation is completed. So that means this is the time period in which the arsenite is converted into a pure light. Arsenite is converted into pure light. So like this, depending upon your requirement, so you can select the temperatures. Like in this case, it is taken the first temperature of the bath is 700 degrees centigrade, and then second one is 675, and the third one is 600, 500, and 400, and so on. So that in every container you have to take a group of specimens, and at a regular intervals you have to take it and then dip into the water, and then estimate the percentage of transformation as well as the time taken. With this two data or information, it is possible to draw the it is possible to draw the triple T diagram, and it appears something like this. It appears something like this. Look at here. At 500, at exactly at 550 degrees centigrade, there is a separation of phase, that above 550 centigrade, the phase developed from the arsenite is pure light, and the temperature below 550, the phase developed from the arsenite is benite, and depending upon the size of the grains, they will call it as a chorus pure light, and then fine pure light. The difference between chorus and fine is only the grain size, and as far as composition and phase is concerned, both are same. So the first line indicates when the phase transformation will start at a particular temperature. Let us take the 400. At 400 degrees centigrade, when you dip the austenite phase specimen into 400 degree salt bath, so this is the time, this is the point where the phase transformation will take. And if you move horizontally along this line, this indicates 50% of phase transformation, and this the last line indicates the 100% of phase transformation. So like this, you have to select number of specimens for each temperature, and then at a particular temperature you have to take over a period of time you have to take the specimens, and then dip into the cold water, and then examine the percentage developed and as well as the time taken. So with this data you can construct this TTT diagrams. So I think I have made a clear difference between what is between iron carbon diagram and TTT diagram. Iron carbon diagram is different, and TTT diagram is different. So with this information, let us move on to the some of the MCQs. And the first one is triple T stands for time, torque, and turn. No. Time, temperature, and torque. No. Time, temperature, and transformation. C is the correct answer. And the last one he has given time and transformation. So for this, time, temperature, and transformation is the correct answer. Then second one is for isothermal transformation of the steel into austenite, the bath temperature should be a dash centigrade. That means not to obtain the isothermal, not to obtain the austenite phase. The what could be the temperature of the bath is asking, and we know that it should be above 7 to 7 degrees centigrade. Then only it is possible to get the austenite. And if the temperature falls below 7 degrees centigrade, austenite will become unstable. So thus the phase transformation will going to take place. And the third one is in TTT transformation curves, austenite is transformed to dash phase at above 550 degrees centigrade. So in TTD diagrams, austenite, we know that austenite is the phase which is available or which is sustained, exists over 7 to 7 degrees centigrade. If you dip or if you cool to a lower temperature, it is above 550. What is the phase transfer? The phase transfer, is it a martensite, perlite, or cementite, or benite? To answer this, you can just get on to this diagram and you can see that it is the above 550 it is perlite. Above 550 it is perlite. So answer is B, it is perlite. And similarly, in the same way, he has asked one more question. In TTD transformation curves, austenite is transformed to dash phase at above 300 degrees centigrade. So for to answer this, once again you can jump onto this slide, and he said above 300 degrees centigrade, that means it is below 550. So the phase developed is definitely you can say the lower benite, or just you can say benite. So this is the answer, that is benite. D is the answer. And then in the other one is in TTT transformation curves, nose is transformed at dash temperature. Nose is transformed. Nose is formed at what temperature? For this, once again, you can jump onto this slide. And nose is, as I said, it is above 500 degrees centigrade. Generally, people will identify this point as 550 degrees centigrade. So that means it is answer for the fifth one is 550. In TT diagrams, the transformation curves, in the TTT transformation curves, MS and MF are stands for for what? So that is metal start and metal finish, perlite start and perlite finish, cementite start and finish, martensite and start and finish. To answer this question, once again it is better to go to this slide, and this is MS and this is MF. MF is not visible here. Let me take another slide. So this is where is this? So here also it is not visible. I think this is the better. So this is MS and this is MF. So this he says that 90% of MF and 50% of MF, and this is the MS starts. So here M starts for martensite. M starts for martensite. So that the answer for the sixth one is not metal start or metal finish. Perlite start for perlite finish, and this is the answer for this is martensite start and martensite finish. And these slides have given answers for all the questions. So with this, I hope we have completed the session 1 of module 3. And thank you very much.